Hey
How do they do
everyone,
that with your teeth?
Joe and Amélie here for another exciting episode of We Watched What? Welcome to Streamin Demons, when we just kind of talk about everything but the movie for about, 20
Excellent.
minutes.
True.
Yeah, actually we did Thunder... Oh, my shoulders popped back up. We did Thunderbirds last time, and I cut out us watching it. I basically just cut that part out,
Yes.
and I got the beginning, and I got the recap part of it.
Yes, why? I was very surprised. I watched it. I'm like, okay, we're going to. And all of a sudden, I saw the video. And then 39 minutes of us talking and
Yeah.
slowly talking. I'm like, okay, let's rewatch the video. Maybe I push a button or something like that.
No. No, I'll tell you the reason why. I got an email from the company, the PR company behind the 4K remaster. And if you haven't seen Thunderbirds, you should. It's actually pretty fucking fun. We did a high review of it, praising, but still, the 4K remaster, it's gorgeous. They're like an hour long. They're great for family or date night or whatever you want. Just chill and watch, have some fun. And they're like, "Hey, you have the review?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." So I want to just hit the review home on it, so they didn't have to go like, "Hey, there's your review. Good luck watching an hour and a half of this." And we just watched it with you, type thing. So I put one out that's just pure review. I will put out a behind the scenes or additional bonus that's us watching. That way, for people who just want the review, they have the review. If they want to watch us watching it, sure, why not? Perverts, but still. And then the next one, we just like us watching it, and I'll just truncate our review of it. Yeah. But it was fun. Yes, I think so.
Yes, it was. So basically, you receive
Yeah.
orders from the Thunderbirds saying,
No, they just said like that. They said it on like Thursday. Like, hey, you guys have a review? I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm putting out tomorrow. And they didn't save it. That they don't care how I do it. It's just I didn't think they'd be fair to the PR company to sit through an hour and a half of us watching a fucking movie. It don't add on to their jobs.
okay, I
We make their
understand.
jobs exciting, not like by piling on. That way they can watch 30 minutes. They say this is a 30-minute review. Bam, here it is. Awesome. High five. Pure review. Yeah, and then, otherwise what we did was a little spoilers. We did spoilers to the entire thing, so we're describing it to people. So yeah. So I want to do like a pure spoiler one, which we'll do later. But this is a pure spoiler of Dexter Resurrection. Oh wait. Oh, it is Resurrection. I thought I said erection. God damn it. I watched
Talking about erection, I have a question for you.
about erections?
Yes.
Oh boy.
So
Hold on.
let's say, for example, your girlfriend, yes, drink your Coca Cola. Yes,
No,
digest.
I'm not drinking fatty Coke. I'm drinking Coke Zero. Because
Oh,
I got a choice between diabetes and cancer. I'm picking cancer today.
oh, good.
Ooh, that's
Cancer.
a bad
Good.
joke.
Good, good. No. Choose your death.
Yeah.
Your body, your choice.
Yeah, you're asking about like sex. Go on. Go on.
Yeah. So your girlfriend gives you a gift, and that gift, it's a machine who does exist, who give blowjobs. Would you find this very romantic or very personal if she bite it, okay, and she mold her lips to the blowjob machine? Would you find it personal, lovely?
Is you're asking this question because Christmas is coming?
No, I'm asking this question because I was watching a video on Instagram, the reels, and there's guys who were talking about that kind of machine, and I'm like, damn,
Okay.
I wonder if it's like so many people are like, yeah, I'm going on travel and I'm scared my boyfriend's going to cheat on me on my apps and stuff, and I'm like, if I was young again and single, would I? Would I do that? And I asked my husband, I was like, yeah, but as a condition, for example, it would be something like, oh, I mold my lips to the machine or this kind of thing. So I was wondering, how would you react?
Okay. full disclosure, Joe used to work in an adult industry, so I got a couple answers to this one. I know exactly what you're talking about, oddly enough. I don't have one, a girlfriend or a machine that does it. Either way. And it is something I've seen growing up, not as a small child, but through the industry where stars would get molded for their like lady bits, vagina, and also lips and anus, right? They'll get molds of this happen, and then they would sell the molding, the toy with the mold with their face on it. The toy doesn't have their face on it. The box has their face on it, right? Usually, sometimes they don't get in there. And so you were buying the fantasy. This is what the woman would feel like. Your favorite porn star. This is what Tracy Lords feels like. Popping that name in my head, and they usually charge a surplus for it because it's it's an essential feel type thing. I never got one of those. I don't think I even reviewed one of those. I don't think I did, and I just don't. It's like, whatever. But for you, you're saying a personalized toy for like a birthday. There you go. You travel a lot. Take my lips with you. I would probably use it in a way that I'm like, okay, sure, why not? But I would also, here's the thing, my age, I would just take my wife with me. Like, I don't understand why I'm going on these trips without her. You know what I mean? Like, why am I going with all these business trips without my girlfriend or my wife or someone that would be like, the fuck? I know some people aren't in that position, so maybe that's a good way of doing it. It would be a fun gift for me, I think. But here's my two questions back to you. Question number uno. If you break up with them, do you take that gift back?
I was wondering that. Or do they still keep it?
You're like, oh, fuck her. Uh,
Could you
Trust me, you don't
imagine?
want to see the
You're
camera
dating a
panning now.
girl, you're dating a girl, and she's like, "Excuse me, what's that box? Oh, it's an auto blowjob box. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Yeah." And she found out it's the lips of your ex-girlfriend or the inside of your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot
that's
of.
RSL.
I'm friend with somebody who has a sex shop, and it's really interesting to hear his point of view about sex, and you learn a lot of things, and it's not taboo, it's not dirty or anything. And apparently a lot of couples, especially married couple who are married for 15, 20 years, they do personalized sex toy. For example, you can mold the dick of your husband,
That's what I was going to ask the
and
next
you
question.
see
Yeah.
this kind of thing and lips and stuff like that. And I think that's really interesting. I think it's lovely. Like it's really fun. It's lovely.
It's a cute little gift. I mean, you have to watch out where you open the gift at. And you're right. If you do break up, it's kind of like, wow, fuck. I mean, I've seen, we probably all have this happen once in our lives. Uh, my very first French girlfriend, honestly. Come to think of it. Like ages, like fucking ages ago, like 30 years ago. We accidentally found pictures of her mom naked.
Oh, c'est
Like,
vrai.
yeah, back in the day, these weren't like on your phone. They fucking box, like, hey, we're at our mom's house, kind of like house sitting, and the mom's like, I need you to clean some shit out. I'm like, all right, whatever, we'll clean out whatever, and so you get back, it's all less stuff, whatever cell or garage, whatever's gonna be, toss away. And so we're going through stuff, and one of the boxes was like, oh, a photo box. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah. So you see that, and that's with your parents. Now, would you ever want to like clean out your mom's closet or like whatever and
See,
see
that's
like
a
your
very
dad's
good
cock?
question. That's a
Like, here's your
very good
dad's cock.
question. No, no, no. That's a very good question. There is
That's a good
a
question.
special company who's taking care of that. You
Uh-oh.
have cancer and you know your kids are going to clean your house. You can contact this company and say, "This is the situation. I've got cancer. I would like you to come. I'm going to sign a paper and a contract. You're going to my home before my children, and you're going to pick up my sex toys, my picture, my BDSM stuff, etc.
I
It's
want to be this part of the company. I
that's
wanted
a real
that's
company
actual
who exists.
company.
It's a company who
God,
exists in UK. And how do I find that? I have Crohn's disease. And as you know, many times I was at the door of death.
yeah.
And I found myself in a situation where I had to be taken to the hospital in the snap of a finger. And my parents went to my bedroom, and I had a picture of a dick pic sent by someone with glasses on, and it was nearby my bed.
Hold on, hold the fuck on. We'll get into Dexter in a minute, but I need to break this one down. So the dick pic, the dick had glasses on it, or the person was wearing glasses?
The dick pic had glasses on it.
You had that in your bedroom?
Yes. So I
Wait,
went to,
what?
I know, I'm going to
No.
explain the full story of that picture. I went to
Is it?
Netherlands and I buy a fantastic picture of David Bowie. It's a poster from Japan
Uh-huh.
for the man who fell to the world, to the earth.
To Earth
And
there,
I
right?
went to Lille city center, and I
Sure.
went to, encadrer, to place it under glass. And there
Uh-huh.
were a machine to print picture. That person sent me that dick pic who was fantastically funny. So what I did is I printed it, I buy a small thing, I place it nearby my bed, and whenever I had a guest, I would be like, "Oh, this is my big brother," and they would see the dick pic, and it's just funny, hilarious.
I'm gonna ask on camera. Is it mine?
Maybe
Because I
there is.
honestly don't remember. I
I
okay,
still have
for
it.
those of you
I
watching at
still have
home,
it. I don't have the picture. I don't have the picture anymore, but I do have the picture on folder.
like I don't have the picture anymore, but now it's got red lenses instead of my old fuck me, man.
So
Ray-Bans.
So I had it
Huh. Sounds like
nearby
something I
my
would
bed
do
like
though.
that. So I would take it nearby my computer, whatever. And whenever I had a visitor, I would have it next to my bed. So when I had a one night stand, they would come and I say and said, "Oh, this is a picture of my brother." It's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And they would pick up sometimes out of sheer curiosity and see it and be like, "What the fuck? Yeah, it's really funny. It's my big brother." La 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 la. And they would never call me again. It was fantastic because when I was living in the hotel, I had a lot of stalker. I had people who were trying to come by the window, call to the emergency phone to
Uh-huh.
fuck me at night and stuff like that. So to protect me, I passed for crazy. So I had the picture like this. So anyway, I was taken to the hospital in the snap of a finger, and my parents went into my room and to pick up, clothes and stuff,
Yeah.
and they wear the picture on it.
Great.
And
Can't
I'm
wait to
like,
meet your parents.
ah, yeah. And at the same time, your house is not clean or anything, or you have your son's sexy lingerie. You know what I mean? Like I was like, yes, I must have opened it and see my sexy lingerie. I don't have any sex toy or anything, but I was like, where do you put your sex toy normally? How do you do when your parents go? It's like, okay, we're going
My
to
anus.
your, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how do you do? It's a company I heard of because I was watching a video about people having cancer and having. Hmm, it's a sort of psychologist who helps the family accept the death
I
of
think I need
the
that
person.
person to accept that I
Yeah,
had a you had a picture of a penis for a decade or two on your bedroom wall, and apparently it met your parents. I think I need a therapist for this right now. I need an
lovely, right?
adult.
Lovely,
I
yeah.
need an adult.
Lovely. Yeah. Ah,
All right, so
when you send good picture like that, you need
yeah.
to accept the consequences, especially when they're very very funny. And it's my favorite dick pic. Like sometimes I look at the picture and I'm like, that's a good one. Like that's such a good one. Like you see, like I'm sorry, I look at it and smile and I laugh. And every morning we wake up, she's I was like,
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I watched it. It was a documentary. It was a mother was dying from
Uh-huh.
cancer. And
Right.
it's really interesting because they're here to support the family, to help out. And when she passed away, the kids were like, "Oh, she's going to get better and everything." And she had to explain to them, "No, your mother is going to the hospital. She's not going to go back. It's time
And
to say
don't go in
goodbye."
mommy's room.
You know what I mean? It's time.
Yeah.
But there
Well,
were
that's
also these two
horrible.
women who are fantastic. And they were from UK, like, typical English woman,
Yeah.
very full of life. And it's their best friend who had leukemia, who asked them to come before the parents and say, "I need you to do me a favor. It's very important. I want you to go in my home. On the left of my bedroom, there is
There's a
a black
picture
box.
of
The
a
black box is
cock
all my
with some
sex toys.
glasses on it.
I refuse to have my parents touching it. Please do me a favor. Take it out." So they went, they grabbed it, etc. And
Grab your
they
stuff.
told it during a stand-up comedy because the lady, she was a stand-up comedian, and she's like,
Right.
"We realized a lot of people contacted us, said, 'Can I pay you to do so?' Because sometimes they don't have their friend. Like, look, I'm in Czech Republic. If I was single in Czech Republic, who would do it for me? You know what I mean?" Or, for example, Brian Warner, Marilyn Manson, said it. When his grandfather passed away, they found in his bedroom a lot of sex toys. They're like, "Oh, grandpa loves sex toys." You know what I mean?
But
So
did he
there's
keep
things you
any?
want.
That's what I want to know. Did Marilyn Manson keep any of the sex toys?
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
should ask him that.
That's really funny. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
so there we go. We'll tie this back into Dexter season 1, episode 3 of Resurrection. If you were Dexter's, like, say Dexter dies again, whatever, you go through his stuff, and then if you find the catalog of the blood slides, right? You find some of his tools. Does that change the way you feel about your parent? Meaning, if you clean out your
Definitely.
dad,
Definitely. I heard countless story of people whose parent passed away, and it's beautiful because they realize they're not just daddy mommy. They're Roger, Patricia. They travel the world. They had love
right?
letters of people. There are women who found out her mother had a lover for years and years on, for 30 years. And she found the love letter, she found a coupon and stuff like that. And yeah, when she found out, she found the address of that guy, contacted him, invited him for tea, and he asked to get some stuff, like, for example, a dress and a neck, not a
Bracelet,
necklace, but a bracelet he gave
bracelet.
her, etc. And it's beautiful because you're like, "Oh, she's my mother. She cooked me food. She was there for me." But at the end of the day, she's a woman. So yeah,
Yes.
people who find, for example, a journal, an American who found a journal from her grandmother. She wrote the journal in the purpose of giving it to her granddaughter when she passed away. So the
Okay.
first page is when she was born, when she was 5 years old.
All right.
Oh, it's a little secret. I saw you walking for the first time. Things like that. And things like, for example, people who found out they had two lives, two families, and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty common. It's pretty
So it's
common.
pretty common, and then this is what's going to come with the Dexter. Then the TV show Dexter, again, Resurrection season 1 episode 3. We see that Dexter has some secrets, and then Harrison knows most of Dexter's secrets. But we're going to see in this episode that other people have their secrets, and they kind of unwind in this episode slightly. And it's funny because I went to Hellstorm last week, or this will come, this is going to be by Friday, so last Friday. And I used an Uber, and this motherfucker, like, charged me. He's parked on the wrong goddamn street. And starts like, "I'm here. Where are you at?" I'm like, "At the pickup spot, bitch. Where are you at?" Like, and he starts charging per minute because they're getting paid for the time. I'm like, "Bro, you're not even right fucking street." I'm like, "What the fuck? The hotel's right here, man." So you see that, and the star ratings start chunking down, right? We live in a world where if everything's like 5 out of 5 stars, we wonder why not. We find that for Dexter doing the U car, or your car really, he's getting like a 4.2. Is like, oh my god. I have below a 4.2, like getting warning letters, right? For me, a 4.2 out of 5 ain't bad. But for them, they're like, no, we're gonna suspend your fucking license.
They're extremely strict. I have a friend who did Bolt. So Bolt is very well known in Czech Republic.
They're coming out to Canada too, Bolt.
You need to be, if you're 5 out of 5, fantastic, you get bonuses, etc. But if you're under a certain number, they send you email, warning, etc. They can even ask you to not drive for a week.
Yeah.
One day, he was driving 3 women over 40 years old, and he had very frizzy hair. Very frizzy hair. And they were touching his hair. And he's like, please stop touching my hair, please. I'm driving and everything.
Fuck.
So she got
Sexual assault.
upset. She paid and everything. And he got a bad rate. And for a week, he couldn't drive because he had a 0. Now that person was not fine with me. Na, 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 na. Bang. 1 week without driving. You need to do a minimum of drive, but 1 week without driving, plus you have the cost, etc. It's really difficult to
Weird.
be a Bolt driver. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we were saying that one guy took from Prague to the airport, almost made me throw up. He can't drive for a while. Good. He needs some fucking time by himself a bit. Yeah, so we see this, and then of course Blessings comes in and helps him out. Like, oh, you need this, you need all the condoms, you need all the hand sanitizers, you need the, and we just see what a shitty life a Uber driver or Lyft or Bolt, what they actually have, because a lot of people are just a-holes. And
I think
honestly,
it's just
like,
America. I think it's just America. America for the condom and candy and everything is just America.
okay, like not the
In
a-hole part, but
Czech Republic, it's you need to have a clean car, you need to arrive on time, you don't speak to the driver sometimes speak with you, etc. But if they think you're Czech, they don't talk to you. If you're international, they try to talk to you. The guy, I think you experience, he drove really fast because he thought because you're an American, you want to be on
no,
time at your plane.
that motherfucker had PTSD. He thought he was still in the war, and he was driving like a fucking ambulance driver going through
Ukrainian,
a DMZ.
maybe.
Yeah, but it's all good. So we have all this, and we see Dexter trying to fit in a little bit on this thing. We see a bunch of horrible people come through his car, and it's like, my God, you could almost like imagine when the serial killer is not the most horrible person coming to your car, because the guy's going to kill you. But we find out later on that like, he's not that bad. Besides, killing people. So we see all this stuff, and then Dexter kind of gets updated on how easy it is to look someone up online. Even though he worked for a police force for a while, this was during a time where a lot of the online websites were just starting to pop up now. I've been cyberstalked through my previous online presence back in the day. Dumbly enough, utility bills. Utility companies back in the day would put your phone name, address, and phone number on their public-facing fucking portal. So you only needed one piece of information to get your full everything else. And that's how someone stalked me in the late 90s. They changed a bit since then, but people are pretty fucking naive for a while. I think they still are, but still. So Blessing's wife does this. She's like, I investigated through a paid site. And it's like, oh shit, I can use that to get Ronald Schmidt too. Nice. So it's kind of weird. This goes back to the problem I have with the writing. Dexter should know this. Dexter should know there's a fucking website that does this stuff. He's not stupid. He's a fucking cop. His
He
an analyst.
lived in the middle of nowhere.
He lived
He
in fucking
tried
Miami though.
to hide his identity, to be forgotten, to not use internet, to not have a Facebook, to stay in small village, to be known just by the sheriff who was his girlfriend, and all of a sudden he come back to New York and everything changed. The game changed.
I mean, he used to be in Miami. They had these sites back then. They just weren't as popular. So maybe, yeah, he tries to hide out in the middle of nowhere, stays off internet, so he's just not tech savvy anymore. He's just trying to enjoy his life. Kind of off the grid type thing. So maybe that checks out. Okay. I'll buy that one. Maybe it checks out. And then we move out to he goes to the apartment and like he sees the trophies from Schmidt. It's like, okay, now Dexter's hunting the dark passenger and he's gonna, it's gonna be it. So we kind of like fall back into the old Dexter patterns from the original series, where he does the vetting and okay, this guy deserves it. Now we have to like kill him off. And this is happening while two other plot lines are happening. You have Claudette Wallace and Melvin are questioning Harrison. And like, hey man, we see you go in with the woman and the guy, and then what happens? Harrison's like, well, I left with someone. I went out that night. And then it kind of crumbles and like we almost feel at some point Harrison might confess. Almost. Because they do kind of lay it on. They're like, hey man, this guy's a scumbag. If I were you, I probably would kill him too.
Playing bad cop, good cop.
Yeah. Noticing that, like, we can give you this. We'll give you the deal right now. Noticing that, actually cops can't give you the deal. That's up to the DA. That's up to the prosecution. Like, that's not up to the cop. The cop can say whatever the fuck they want. And they can kind of like push for it, but that's about all. So he's kind of going through all this stuff. And we find out that Harrison is homeless. Oh no. By living in a hotel. So it's not really homeless, but room hops.
No, he's not homeless. He lives in a hotel. It's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's completely normal. Alors, ladies and gentlemen, when you work in a hotel industry and you are aged between 14 and let's say 25 years old, you live in a hotel. You live in a bedroom full of other people,
Yeah.
and you live in a bunk bed. That's a great experience. There is zero private life. It's really hard, so do it for 3 months with the idea of you're going to have zero private life. You need to have an organization, you need to sleep well, etc. It's really hard because there is always somebody who's listening music, always people who are not very clean, etc.
Yeah.
You can live sometimes in basement of the hotel. Often in south of France, the room are in the basement, but that's a part of the hotel life. Like you always have this
I think so.
idea of domesticity of the people. So either we live upstairs in the roof or we live downstairs in the basement. Also, sometimes you can have a wall building where you live outside of the hotel. Or voila. Why? Because it's easier for the hotel to make you work long hours, especially when
Yeah.
there is an event, etc. If somebody is sick, you can work. Like you can be a receptionist for 5 days, and a Saturday they say, "Hey, Amélie, you're going to work from 6 p.m. till 1 a.m. in the morning as a dish pig," and you can't say no. You sign a contract, you clean, etc. It's an experience. It's great because you met a lot of people who earn a lot of tips, can save a lot of money. It's like working in a cruise. Where do we live? We live in the
Yeah.
cruise. But you need
Absolutely.
to have the mental. You need to have the mental. I saw people leaving after a week. I saw people crying their brains out and begging their parents to pick them up, etc.
Interesting.
It's but it's interesting. I have no regrets. I have no regret, but you don't have any private life. Like you're eating, and all of a sudden your team lead called you, and they're like, "Hey, Patricia is not feeling well," or you're
Yeah.
sleeping, your telephone ring. "Hi, Amelie, can you open the reception? I'm not feeling well, or I'm stuck in traffic, etc." And you've got your afternoon and something like that. So you need to pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. It's completely normal.
Yeah, it's weird because I've seen that happen on country clubs where sometimes the worker would live on site because it's just easier for them and they get a place to live and stuff like that. I've lived in hotels myself, never as a worker, but I've known people as I was living in a hotel for God months in New York. I would see some people who lived on site who are not the super obviously, sometimes the superintendent lives there or, like, the apartment building type thing. But for the hotel, like, one of the workers were just like, "No, that's my flat over there." Like, it's part of the hotel. I'm like, "Okay, cool. All good."
Yeah,
And
that's what I
yeah,
did in
Harrison.
Australia. In Australia, I had my flat. Do you remember? I had a
Yeah.
little studio with everything, a big bed, a computer. It was lovely. It was my private room, and I was a housekeeper.
Oh, there you go. And so it's almost like a perk for people who don't have a lot of stuff, or you're just starting out, or just trying to rebuild, whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a nice way to
something
see the
you
world too.
do when you're between 16 and 25 years old. Voilà, 16 and 25 years old. You're single, you need money, you need a good start. You're not going to pay $300 or $600, plus you need to pay the utilities, plus you need to pay the 6 months in
Yeah.
advance or whatsoever. No, you have your bed, you work, you're there, you've got your tips so you can survive on tips, you save a little bit, and bim bada boom. And this is really good because one, you make friends, two, you have this social network, you create.
Yeah.
And three, it's lying on the CV. What did you do? Well, for 6 months, I worked for the hotel, something, something. I was living on site. Oh, great. You're going to you're going to make a lot of money. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine you earn $2,000 every month, but you don't pay utilities, you don't pay rent, you don't pay the electricity. Like, come on.
You basically being able to
If
save it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
you'll
one of the
always
benefits.
have some monkeys who spend their money, but there is always a loser somewhere. But it's demanding. I would
Right.
advise to do this life if you have a goal. My goal was to travel the world. My goal was to be financially stable and free. I did it. There were nights I was like completely wrecked, and you have your colleague who are fucking next to you, or for example, somebody is leaving, so they're listening hard music. You sometimes live inside the hotel and the couple next to you, they're having an argument, so you can't sleep very well. There is a downfall of it, a
Right.
downgrade, right? But I have no regret because this allow me to really enjoy my flat, my apartment, right? And this allow me to travel, it's a beautiful experience. It's a
Well, that worked
beautiful
out for
experience.
you. But did you
Mhm.
catch for Harrison was doing it illegally? That wasn't the arrangement they had for the hotel.
Mhm.
Harrison was doing this illegally.
I heard about that. I
Yeah,
heard about that.
this is not, I mean, like, what you experience, were these hotel chains, or were they bed and breakfasts, or hostels, or what?
Everything.
Everything? Okay.
Campsite, boat, bed and breakfast, homes of rich people, which are the best, private island, like I
Not
did
that one.
with everyone.
So you okay, so when you got that, so he does a little bit of everything. For Harrison, he was trying to be coy because he didn't wanna admit to the cops that he's basically busting, and they're like, "We don't care where you live, kid. Like, that's none of our concern." And he's just worried about getting kicked out because the hotel manager finds out, they would actually kick him out for squatting.
I know a group of people. I know a group of people who um I'm going to say it because it's fine, but several times we have what we call the beautiful room. So basically, you work for a private hotel, okay, and
Alright.
they often have Airbnbs, right? And sometimes the Airbnb needs to be repaint, or the Airbnb needs to be clean, or it's closed for a week, right?
Alright.
And when you know, and when the team is really close like that, what we do is we let a friend coming either to a room for free, and in exchange we're like, okay, you need to leave at that time, and I'm going to redo the bed. I'm going to pay the cleaning lady for her to redo the bed.
Right.
i did it I did it to help people who, for example, they were kicked out by their parents out of nowhere, or their girlfriend broke up, or people were in danger. So I would
Okay.
be like, no problem, come at 6 a.m. I will be there. You go to that room, be discreet, etc. The hotel managers, they don't give a fuck. They want the money and that's all. They don't pay attention. You block the room or you do
Well,
day euros. You know what I mean?
that
If
Harrison's
everything is
hated
fine,
him.
bang.
That's why.
You know what I mean?
Like
And
Harrison's manager hated him. That's why it was an issue.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But everybody, like, it's something. How can I say it? There is a lot of big hotel who have single room. Like for example, the big hotel, like 5-star hotel. They have what we
Yeah.
call single room, simple room. And there is some of the simple rooms who are completely shit. Like they're really shit. They're not beautiful and everything. There's not a lot of people who rent them. You know what I mean? So when there is a room who is blocked because it should be renovated and everything, I know there is a kind of business, you know, where we let someone sleep there and everybody knows, like for example the barman is sleeping there, or
Right.
there is maybe the receptionist, etc., and everybody shut the fuck up, everybody knows. But voila, if the
Okay. So
management know, you know what I
what
mean,
you're
this
saying
happen in big hotels.
it's realistic for Harrison to have their friend in housekeeping to hook him up with a room. That's
Yes.
what you're saying.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because I did
Okay.
it. Because everybody does it. Like, yeah, yeah,
Like
dude. Yeah.
which is great. Like for also doing that. So which is then we switch out to Dexter ordering his knockout drug underneath Dr. Patrick Bateman, which is kind of funny for American Psycho friends. And you see that, and like, oh, that's how he gets his stuff. He orders it through the internet, or not internet. He orders through their phone, and they're like, oh yeah, you moved again. Hey, we haven't seen you in a long time. Here you go. Here's the one thing you ever ordered repeatedly. Oh man, I hope you don't use this to kill people. No, they're just like, here you go. Here's some medical stuff. It's a MacGuffin. No one really cares how he gets it, but they added that color in there. And then it's like, well, now I am going to get in there, and he makes this little collar so he can't get choked. He's very smart about his step by step by step. Dexter is going to get him, and Dexter does get Ronald Schmidt, and Ronald Schmidt tries to kill him, and Dexter's like, oh no, don't kill me. And Dexter fucks up because his shoulder's not 100%. It's like, fuck me, you know. It sounds like me now. And he's doing all this stuff, and he kills Ronald. We know what's going to happen. Fucking kills him. We don't care why Ronald is killing. Like, oh no, my God, I pick on these people because they drove my dad to kill himself. He's he's a cab driver and drove him. I'm thinking, if your dad's a cab driver, cool, paid for medallion. I get it, New York. But he got ran out of business by Uber. Maybe you should have been an Uber driver too. Then, just saying, if you're no longer using
I'm
cabs, the
I'm
Uber's
going
existing.
to intervene now. When the guy was on the table, I was sorry for him. I was really sorry for him. Last time we spoke about a movie about a bad guy, and he's like, "Oh, I felt bad for the bad guy. Did you feel bad for the bad guy?" And I say, "No, not at all. Like he deserves to die. I don't care." That guy, even if he was a bad guy, his backstory, I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
He did it for a reason.
Because yeah, because I'm going to tell you,
So, Katie
I'm a
kill Randall.
receptionist, and in reception we used to have the pile of card from private company, private taxi.
Yeah.
Every hotel in the 2000 and 2010 had private company taxi. So they would befriend you, they would give 10% discount on your guests, they would be on time, etc. I remember in Czech Republic, we had a line of taxi in front of our hotel. You would take the first taxi, then the second, the third, etc. And they would be fantastic, really lovely, speaking English. You would know them, and every Christmas, they would come to you and you would give a little bit of money, they would give you chocolate. And when they were Muslim, whenever it was the end of, what's the name of the celebration? Of the celebrations, they
Ramadan.
would come with fruit for you, dry fruit and food and cakes. So it was lovely. We were working like this. And
Right.
when we had problem, like for example, we have somebody who is a little bit too drunk, can you come? I've got their key. Yeah, sure. It was like me working with the dish pig or me working with the barman. They were part of the hotel. We were friends. And there are many times when we had colleagues who find themselves in bad situation. You would call Paul and say, "Hi, Paul. This is Amélie. How are you? I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but could you please go to Lille, that address, and pick up my friend? She has a bad breakup with a boyfriend, and I think she's hurt. And instead of make her pay from the garage
Right.
to the home, they would make her pay just from the home to the parents' home. You see what I mean? Or they would be like, no, no, it's free because, or give 50% or whatsoever. You see what I mean? So there is this camaraderie. Uber arrived, and I remember it was a World Cup in France. So international World Cup, everybody goes. There was the beginning of Uber, and I saw Jude, taxi driver, with the hand, like beating up each other. I had to internet. I took flour from the back reception and I threw flour on the taxi and on the Uber to make them stop.
Who's winning?
Like, uh,
Was the
alors,
Uber guy?
it was Uber who was like, it was a taxi driver
Yeah.
from a new company who came around who was creating problems. The taxi company we were working with was not creating problems.
Was
They
not
were
there.
trying,
Okay.
but the Uber and everything, because Uber could be anyone, anyone. And I quickly realized, checking the license plate, there are some people who are from Lyon. Lyon is south of France. So you have people who came with their car from Lyon to go to Lille to pick up guest customer on Uber to earn money, and they were like destroying the commerce, the money, the
Interesting.
business of taxi drivers who were paying the tax of France, who were passing the driving license, who were passing tests, who had the
The
counter
chauffeur
and everything.
license.
Like,
Yeah.
in catastrophe, dude. So when I listened to the bad guy story, my dad, he paid all the tax and everything, and da 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 da.
Fuck. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt for him. My dad wanted to be a taxi driver, wanted to stop and be a taxi driver. And when he looked into it, he's like, it's too expensive. You need to register your car. You need to make the advertising, etc. Being a Uber is easy. You just
Well,
register on the phone. You know what I mean?
well, still, would you? Yeah, I get it. It's a disruptive model for economics. I understand that, but would you say he should be able to kill people though?
Kill people, no.
No. Okay,
But
that's the thing.
the
Like, why do you
idea
feel
of the
sorry for him?
guy was killed, then they beheaded him and threw him in the water. I'm like, oh, dude. Like, this is not an excuse to kill these innocent people who have kids, family, who just wanted
Yeah.
to feed their family, just like your dad. Like, that's not them you should kill. Like, you should kill eventually the CEO of that company. But it's a market. It's
Don't kill
just
no
a market. You
CEOs.
know what I
Don't.
mean?
No. 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 We ain't doing that shit. We ain't killing no fucking CEOs of any company. Can't get behind that
But you
bullshit.
know what I mean? No, but
Luigi's not a fucking hero. He's a
not me
fucking
saying
cunt.
kill the CEO, but I said the only person who deserves, if you want to kill someone who deserves
No.
to, it would be the
No.
CEO, not the
No.
innocent guy who
No.
drives his car.
Negatory.
You know what I mean?
No, no one deserves it. So sorry. I have to vehemently disagree with that. I don't think any CEO deserves to die. Not murder. No,
Yeah,
fuck
of
that
course,
shit.
nobody deserves to die. I'm not
Okay,
proning to kill someone. No, 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 not at all. Not at all. But what I mean is, when I saw that guy crying on the table and says, kill my dad and everything, and the
you
rage
felt
he had and
sorry
everything,
for
I'm like,
right.
yeah, I felt sorry for the dad. And you don't go across the man. How can I say? You don't go across the man's bread. You need to understand, my husband like gig works. He can't work 9 to 5. He can't work in an office. He likes to be a waiter. He likes to be a barman. He likes to promote quiz, etc. It's a lot of work. He needs to save money for the rainy day. It's
Sure,
sometimes he goes, he earns a lot of money. Sometimes he goes, there is peanuts. You see what I mean? It's au bonheur la chance, as we said in French.
Charlie Brown.
When you're a taxi driver and you have the tax, you need to pay the gas, the insurance, and everything, and all of a sudden you have Uber who come. When I saw these people like raging, fighting each other and everything, I'm like,
Right,
that's not the solution. But
but
you know what I mean? Like, it just
here's my thing: be the fucking Uber driver then. If like, oh my god, Uber's taking all my business, then be the fucking Uber driver. Be a better Uber driver than anyone else is. You don't have to like, oh my god, I'm gonna like, double down my taxi license. No, fuck that shit. Like if a gig worker is taking your job, be a better gig worker than that guy is. Maybe that's just naive. I don't know.
But
Either way,
the problem you have is, for example, in France, when you have a garage, because these kind of people, they have their own business. They register for instance, like,
yeah.
I don't know if it's freelancer, but something like that. And they have their own garage and they buy their taxi and they employ other people or they help other taxi drivers. They have all these things built. And all of a sudden there is an app coming and boop, you know what I mean? Like the frustrations, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's frustrating,
sometimes
but
it's,
I mean, again, I wouldn't kill people for it. Maybe it's just me. So
yeah,
Dexter
no, no,
kills
I
him,
wouldn't
dumps
kill
him off,
people, nothing.
and
Yes,
Dexter
yes.
finds an
And by the way,
invitation.
Dexter said it. He's like, yes, okay, I'm sorry for your dad, but that's not a reason to attack other people.
Yeah,
Like the guy you
absolutely,
murdered didn't murder your dad. He had kids and everything.
absolutely, and that was going back to it. Perfect. And then Dexter finds the invitation to the dinner, and he needs a thumbprint. He's like, "Oh fuck!" He goes back inside and takes the guy's arm off, and so he can like manipulate the thumbprint to get into there. So he's kind of a bit of a smart, and this is where we're starting into another aspect of this series. It's going to be the invitation of lunch for psychopaths. Basically, it's a serial killer luncheon with Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's his
he
name
was
still.
not aware of it because when he tried to kill the bad guy, he's like, is it because of the invitation? You can get the money. I don't need the money. What are
Right.
you talking about? The money. Like, yeah, I received the invitation and stuff. I refuse. You can get the money. I don't care about the money. And then he makes some research. He's like, oh, dinner with all the serial killer. That's fantastic. I want to go. He wants to go because he wants to meet all the serial killer and kill every serial killer.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's a great gimmick for this show. Honestly, it was one of the threads that I look forward to the most. And I would watch entire seasons. And we won't spoil how it ends, but I would watch entire seasons of Dexter just going on adventures and killing serial killers as like a fucking road trip. Like, oh, where are we going today? Let's go to Iowa. Sure, why not? The Iowa City Strangler. Sure, it's a name. What does he do? He kills people with bowling pins. Cool. Whatever. Let's fucking knock him off, man.
Yeah, would be cool.
I would
A
watch the
road
shit
trip
out of that.
around America, with different
Yeah.
kind of American, different accent, different backstory, the
It's
way they
like Ozzy and
kill,
Jack
how da
World
da da
Tour.
da da da, cold case, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, and I would love it. And that's where we kind of leave off of the episode. It's going to be there is this thing of him going, I used to be isolated. I thought it was just me. Yes, my brother was a serial killer. Yes, Gemini was a serial killer. But I thought most people were just over here and then I was abnormal. And now he's going to find out, holy shit, there's a whole world of people just like me. It's like you're finding out, like, oh my God, a lot of people like playing Dungeons and Dragons. I just had to get out of my small school and finding a bunch of people who like to play D&D now. So you almost feel like Dexter
Yeah.
has kind of a social life. At the same time, Harry's like, dude, what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to go to
Mhm.
lunch with these people? These are people who are killing, for other reasons.
Mhm. And he
And
found a woman at the dinner who killed apparently sex offender, and that's an interesting to see that character.
yeah, and I'm not sure if this is the next episode or this episode, but there's a bunch of people he's going to meet, including a lot of guest stars pop up in as serial killers. David Dalmatian's one. I always say your name wrong. I'm so sorry, dude. I apologize. You can't say my name either, so fuck it, we're even. And then we got the Jessica Ritter's in it, and then we've got God, Doogie Howser, Neil Patrick Harris is in it. We have all these people who are just like cameo, 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 and it is kind of a cool feel to it. It's the first hint that this version of Dexter Resurrection is self-aware that people just want the fucking candy store. They don't want much else. Like New Blood or True Blood, sorry. The Dexter Cold Blood, whatever the fuck it was. The last one with the same guy. That was fun, but we're like, hey, he's a small town. Cool. How many fucking people are in a small town? Was it Midsummer Murders now? But this is now New York, city like Miami. And we just want to see him be let loose in the city again. We don't want him restrained. We said him, go loose and kill people. Go for it. By
That's
the way, you're a
interesting
dad
because
now.
I preferred the series when he was in the small village because there were one serial killer with a backstory who is an amazing actor, by the way.
Yeah, oh, he
And
is.
I really love it because I like it. I like the transition. I like they did it and everything. When I watch the trailer and I see all the A-list guest star, I'm like, oh no.
I like
Oh no,
that.
of course they're going to have this person. Of course they're going to have that person and patati and patata. But then I watched it and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, it's actually really good.
it
Like, I
is.
really like the different kind of serial killer. I really like how they play it and everything. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. And I love the multitude of the two lives of Dexter. Him having a normal family life and him being a serial killer. They're starting to intertwine. And for Dexter, it's almost like in a positive way. And I'm not sure if this is the next episode or this episode, but when he sees his slides for the first time, he's like, oh my God. But then it's another thing of identity crisis. Because who is the Bay Harbor Butcher? James Dukes. Dokes is the Bay Harbor Butcher to everyone else. So it's like, shit. It's kind of like being Mick Jagger and having some schmuck sing your song. So you know, motherfucker, that's my song. It's like the one movie they made about the Beatles I didn't watch because it's the fucking Beatles. Let's face it. The Monkees are better than Beatles. The Monkees. Nah, the Rolling Stones are far better than Beatles. But the motherfucking Monkees are better than the Beatles. You heard it here first, folks. So, it's like, oh my God, those are my fucking songs. And he's like, dude, all this credit. And I don't think he ever killed for credit, but fuck, it's gotta be weird. Everyone's talking about you in a third person, what, like a Superman. Like, oh my God, did you see what Superman did? And Clark Kent's kind of like, yeah, motherfucker, that's me. It's like a Norm Macdonald bit where this guy was trying to pretend to be Superman to get with Lois Lane.
It would be like fun, for example, if you write a book and you don't put your name, your real name on it, and somebody's like, "Oh, have you heard about the writer Jim Phoenix? I
Yeah,
love his book. Like, I really like the way he writes his character and da 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 da. Have you read it?" And
here's a
I don't
dick.
know.
That Jim Phoenix guy.
Yeah, yeah. Can you
Yeah,
can you imagine that would be really interesting. You go on a date. You're like, so what do you do and everything? It's like, oh, I'm reading that book by Jim Phoenix. It's really interesting to see his point of view about sexuality, politics, etc. I really like how
yeah.
he write his character, but apparently the writer is a dick. But maybe all the intellectual are dicks. Ha 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 ha
Well,
ha.
maybe. Well, I get it. Actually, I did like someone recognized my voice as Dr. Payne before and whatever, but I had someone tell me a line. It was some writing workshop or some signing. I don't know. It wasn't my book signing, but someone said like blah blah blah. I'm like, that's a great line. It's like, yeah, it's in your book. I'm like, fuck, I wrote that. Like, okay, I didn't know I wrote that line. Good for me. So even with it's a weird thing, but that's actually why I'm starting to do with my own name instead of Jim Phoenix. I'm like, I don't know. It's not useful to me anymore. It used to be useful, but it's not apparently. Apparently, I didn't know I had someone. One of my friends might have had a picture of a cock with glasses on next to the bedroom, so all the people like their parents could see it. I didn't know that existed. And if you didn't know that existed, you can go with buy my new book. Actually, I do have my new book coming out soon. So yeah. All right. So we talked about a lot of stuff, and we also talked about Dexter.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And I like this series. I think I do. I did like the New Blood series. Don't get me wrong. I do like the New Blood series because the actors are so fantastic in it. I like the New Blood. I like the small town aspect of it. But I'm so glad he's back in the fucking bigger city. I'm so glad he's back in
I
action.
was skeptical
Yeah, it's
because
fine.
I was like, oh, Alice, nya, 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 and oh, he's in New York now, you know. But when I watched the series, I'm like, oh, that's really good because there is different layer. You have the point of view of the son as a killer, who is completely
Yep.
different from the dad. There is
Yep.
the past of Dexter who's coming back
Yep. Angel.
with Angel,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
there is a present with Dexter, who is evolving in a new world and is going to
Yes.
attack and kill different killers. And I would like to point out there is an invincible serial killer in New York who smash people's skull with
Yeah. With a long
mhm.
crowbar looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you never see the serial killer, but there is another serial killer. And that's interesting. I really like the different layers, the different kind of serial killer, the different option, and the view of you can have PTSD after killing someone, and how does
Yeah.
it work when
Shit
your
happens.
dad is a serial killer? Like it's interesting, and when your dad is a serial killer, the different vision he has and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and we won't spoil what happens later on, but there's some great aspects that happens with each character that their character flaw is basically their downfall. Like whatever the character flaw is their downfall. My shoulder's hurting so much. I want an acupuncture now to see if that fucking works. All right, on behalf of myself, my shoulder's gone. Joe and my guest Amélie, we hope you liked our discussion of Dix and Dexter. All this and more on the next Streamin Demons, which will be probably a movie or more Dexter. Love you guys. Bye bye.
I hear a cat.